I think we shouldn't linger too long in these streets, just in case. So, let me welcome you into the South Bridge Vaults. Just to let you know where you're standing right now. We've come down through the building, under the building. We're now standing directly beneath one of the arches of the bridge itself. If you just pause for a minute. Can't hear anything, can you? It's all the traffic, the buses, the cars. It's all still rolling above our heads, but you can't hear any of it down here. We're on about 3 floors underground. And the people it's been suggested that some of them might have held families of between 8 and 12 people. That amount of people crammed into these tight spaces. And it's been also suggested that despair, depression, anxiety that came from that kind of living. It has heaped itself into the light fabric of these walls and left an imprint in more ways than one. Now, conditions got so bad down here that by the 1860s the council had had enough. They decided to fill these chambers in with rubble to make sure nobody can come and access them again. And they were only rediscovered in the 1980s. And it was in 1996 that Mercat Tours were invited to these sections of the vaults, and we decided to take a history tours down here. We had a lady come up to one of the guides on those early tours and complained very bitterly, going, "I have epilepsy. You might have told me you had light shows down there. That could have set off a fit." So that's a perfectly valid complaint, except that don't see any light shows. I hope you don't have it. We don't have any. What she'd seen was colourful dancing lights flashing across the upper ceiling, and she thought we had lights or lasers projecting them up there. Strange. And then came reports of a bird or bat-like figure swooping down from the upper sections, getting those bases above their heads. And then there came reports of a gentleman leaning against that back wall. First feeling people had of him was that intense feeling of being watched. But whenever everyone turned around, as I said, nobody was there. So the group come down through the vaults. They reach the back corridor. All of a sudden, all of the lights go out. Not one single torch worked amongst them. Not one. Now, they might be Boy Scouts. They might be prepared. They were still very young. Slowly, they inched their way out of the vaults. It took them half an hour. That's how dark it gets down here. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. And as the very last person put their foot on the step, ready to come out, all of a sudden, just at the moment the lights had come on, I'd seen a figure looming at them through that split second of darkness as the light came on. But luckily for us, the room at the far end just so happens to be called our safe room, because the watcher has never been seen or experienced in that room. I think it's time we head there now.